Oh, so nice outside. Yeah, the Malibu's here, the Corvair's back. I didn't post the video.
No.
I'm talking to the world. Got my copper elbow that I'm missing if I need it. It's a cast brass. And I've got to go inside into my junk pile and get a bolt to replace the one that I had to cut off. So I'll dig down in here and whoop, there it is. Got one. Huh. Well, I got two. Big bolts. Junk. Lots of nuts and bolts. Washers. Bolts. Lots of clamps. Lug nuts. Hose clamps. Starters. Lots of hardware. Lamps, drills, Holley carburetors, more muffler clamps. Okay, back to my dungeon. Spider webs. Everywhere I look there's spider webs. Junk. Junk. Corvair. Junk, I guess. It's really hot. Sweating my last few fittings. This thing is gonna go maybe China or else. This thing is gonna go over right there. Dink. So I can turn off the water supply from the city and drain the plumbing above it. Right there. Old pictures. Honey Bear. Hi, Honey Bear. She died in 1997, I think. 14 years ago. When we got Ladybug, and Ladybug's gone now too. Alrighty. Keep plugging away at it. Battery went dead on my cell phone. I bought a charger at Walmart, $15. Car charger, USB charger, or lighter plug charger. $12. Got valves. What am I doing? It's 7:30. Garrison Keeler Prairie Home Companions, a repeat. Last coupler and the drain valve, and I'm almost done here. It's so depressing to work in this environment. I could be outside. Last connection. I got to couple it together, and that's it. It's pretty ugly, huh? Looks like a heating plant pipe running across the ceiling like that. Everything else is done. That's as loud as the radio or the media player gets. And if I put it on to hide the screen, it pauses it, and I can't look at my text messages when the radio or the internet radio is playing. And maybe the iPhone is a better deal, but I guess you got to use them. I got a 30-day return policy. It comes in, valve, pressure reducer, single backflow, drain, cap, goes out, distributes it to the building. Simple if you know what it's doing. Otherwise, I'll forget in a while. Alright, gotta solder that coupler, solder this coupler, solder that 45 and that 45, put my drain cock on, and I'm done. Have a go. Alright, I thought you'd want to see me slip this coupler on. I gotta sand it first. Oops. It's corroded. Slightly. Slightly! Beep, beep, beep. Alarm. Right, there it is. We'll set the camera on top of the ladder and put some flux paste, which is acid. Cleans the metal more thoroughly and stops oxidization when you heat the thing up, and introduce flame, carbon, crap. There. Good coating. Now we'll slip it on that sanded pipe, which has been coated with lots of good flux. And we'll bend this sucker. Make it easy with one hand. And rotate it into place, and it's too short. Wow. Too short. Oh, off by a friggin'. Well, let's compensate. Slide everything up a little bit. Question is now, how far did I pull them out, these various sockets? That's a little bit. That's a little bit. Oops, goopy. I think that'll do. And I'll solder it. I'm going to put the camera away because it takes a long time to heat it up and flux goes flying. It's ugly. Ugly. Like my mess tools. Ugly. Okay. Let's show you how to sweat the last joint. I'm not giving any lessons here. If you figure it out from what I do, great. If not, not great. Alright, let's crank this spreader up. You gotta heat it up. This is MAP gas. You gotta heat it up until the flux starts dripping, and a little while later the silver solder will run into the joint and seal it up. You run it around a couple of times and you run some flux on it if you want. I'm no master plumber, I just figure it out and make it work. Hope I don't have any leaks. There goes the flux. Whoop, there goes the solder. A little bit more flux. Clean it up. People tell me you don't put the solder on when you have an open flame on the fitting, but I'm too stupid to do it the right way. I've been doing it a long time, the wrong way the whole time probably. Alright, all I gotta do is put some Teflon tape on the threads of this, thread it in. I could have threaded it in first, but I can adjust it if I have to. And I got my new bolt here. I found the old bolts from the old flange. The fellow had left them here. I didn't have to get a new bolt, but I had it in my stash, as you saw in the previous video, and I needed one of mine. Wait for that to cool a little bit. Oh, I needed one more 45. I went to the plumbing store yesterday, as you saw in the video. I forgot to get that last cast 45 that I scavenged from some junk I didn't throw away. Pretty plumbing level. I'll cover that mess up. Pipe guide. Honeydew list is still sitting here. I gotta fix a screen upstairs. It's already after 8 o'clock. I'll just do them. Just what, an inch and a half and 2 inch takes forever to cool off. Where'd I put my leg? Huck this 1971 just sent me a text message, and I'm figuring out this phone. It's aggravating. The battery went totally dead after 3/4 of a day use. Maybe because I was going on the internet to listen to some news show. Parts are flying. Time to clean it is now, because you can't do it when you turn the water on because it gets cold and the flux solidifies like margarine. So clean it up now or forever. Look at that green corrosion. Yeah, so Huck this was driving his Cummins turbo diesel, older one. I think it's a 96, I think, maybe wrong. It blew a tranny line. Probably rusted. Could have been a rubber line for a cooler, maybe. Oh, this new phone, I gotta get used to it. You gotta tap it. You can't use a tool, you gotta use your finger. Because it detects heat. Not pressure, I think. I gotta get used to it. I don't know if I like it. It's got some interesting stuff, but it's got some dumb features. Hope I get everything all soldered up. I guess it's D-Day. How do you do this again? That one's closed. Oh, wait a minute. Well, I guess I could turn this on and fill up the meter and the lateral. Same problem as yesterday. Am I going the wrong way? Nope. Fill her up. Hope I don't have any leaks. If I have leaks, it's a disaster. I'm going to drill a hole in the pipe to let the water drain. Can I hear a drip? Running out of memory again. 2 minutes. This 4 gigabyte card is too small. I don't think I posted the video of the Corvair episode. I thought I had. But body shop guy had a temper tantrum because Mrs. CW asked him for a completion date and 2 coats of paint and blah, 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 blah. And he says, I know how to do my body work. And he got into a bit of a shouting match, and he pushed the car outside the next day, and 2 days later dropped off the Malibu. So I've opened up a small claims. I've burned my wrist. I opened up a small claims against him. A small claims court. It'll be heard August 3rd, and I got to be back from my trip to Phoenix and Denver and Indiana in time for the stupid hearing, mediation. I think he's wrong on all counts. The car was as is. It had a couple small problems. The air conditioning wasn't working, and it would stall but restart. A couple little problems, but it was as is. So I'm going to thread this on, put some Teflon tape on, and I'll show you the Corvair. It's back in the barn. Half the bodywork's done. Not happy about that.